Okay, now what you should have done is for assignment 2, after you made your sketches, then you're going to choose one of them and you're going to put it on 9 by 12 piece of paper. You're going to sketch the whole thing out using your ruler. It should be geometric shapes like this. Once you've done that, you're going to either make like some different textures and stuff on paper. Here's one I use bubble wrap. I rolled up my bubble wrap and just smashed it down on my paper. Made a pattern, right? Or you can go through magazines. Like I found these great textures in magazines. You're only using black and white, no color, right? So that's a really nice texture there. This is a nice texture in the dress, plus I can use the gray of the background. Her hair is a great texture, and her sweater and hair and background. These are like mid-tone grays in the background. Then I have whites and blacks. So I can use any of those. Once you've got lots of different textures, either made textures, then you're going to start gluing them down. You can glue them in fairly large pieces, but not much larger than this. I wouldn't put a whole piece here. I would do it in strips. You can see over here, I have some that I already put down. These are little tiny ripped up squares. That gives it a ripped edge. These are cut squares. These are strips. I've used text. Usually I try and cut a straight edge for the outside shape, sometimes using the edge of the magazine, which is nice and clean. I use my scissors, and then I use my pencil to measure if I need to end it someplace. These are all strips. This is a strip. This is hair. This is fabric, polka dots. So everything else is kind of done in strips, squares. So those give you different textures too, especially if you want to grade from light to dark. Little pieces work. On this one, I'm going to use my gel medium, which I have right here. I can't tip it. I have a Blick Acrylics gel medium, and I have a matte medium. This is like acrylic paints, so if you are getting it on your paintbrush, you have to rinse your paintbrush off every once in a while in water, or it will dry. So now I'm just simply going to use my paintbrush to put the gel medium down in the area I'm going to glue something down on. And then I've already cut these to fit. This is my largest piece, the other one's in smaller pieces. Oops, I got to get it up there a little further. Okay, and then once I put it down, I put the gel medium back on top. And yeah, it looks like it already dried out over here. Put the gel medium back on top, and that seals it. So everything will look uniform. And I also have a piece over here that I already got cut. I'm going to make, and when you're doing your drawing and you're putting down your value, you're going to think about emphasis. I want my emphasis to be these two pieces right here. So I'm going to put this kind of complex, darker pattern behind them. And then I'm going to have them a lighter value here and a dark black maybe on that. And then I'll have different types of patterns. And you can see it kind of wrinkles a little bit. Whoops, got to put more underneath. There we go. So if your pieces get too big, you get wrinkles in them. So that's why it's good to have smaller pieces. And I had another piece that I fit right here. I kind of wanted my pattern to go the same direction, so I kept cutting pieces to go different directions. So they all kind of lined up. And I think this piece goes right here. Oops, where did it go? I have to remember. This one went here. This one went right here. Okay, this piece went right here, like this. And then my last piece fit over here. And I'm overlapping these pieces, so I don't have any white in between. And if this is a little bit longer, that'll get covered up when I put the other pieces on top. So now I already have one section done, and put my brush in water so it won't dry up and get ruined. And then I'll start cutting some other pieces to fit in these other areas. Okay, so that's your next step. And I'm going to use these painted textures too to put in a few places. So I'm going to do a mix.